morning, Beth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Beth Emery, and I'm reporting to you from 4632 North Florida Avenue, Disco Dolls Gallery. And we have here today with us Bridget Ahearn from Old Crow Studios, St. Petersburg, Florida. Behind us, I have 5 beautiful paintings of a series, It's Time to Wake Up, Dear Humans. This is meant to illustrate our current revolutionary moment in time. And I know that it is inspired by the Black Lives Matter protests. And I know that you wanted to elicit the feeling of people around the world and also enlighten them. And reading your artist statement, you say it is your hope and to inspire empathy and action from the viewer. Anyways, all right. Let me say something good about you, okay? Bridget gives us a voice with a cohesive narrative of paintings that are meant to illustrate our current social and political issues. And so one that really strikes me and I look at right away because it's very cohesive and it represents us all and we can all relate to it, is solidarity. You have a strong message on the back of solidarity as well, of your own, because it's the name of your show, It's Time to Wake Up. And then we have this painting that's really eloquently rendered. I want to tell that to the viewer.
Thank you.
And also, I think of Keith Haring. I think of him when I look at this bright yellow and orange and the smiles, because he actually, his art, he was one to give information and let the viewer take it from there. His was health related. So tell me about solidarity. Comes in all shapes and sizes.
So with that piece, I started with the yellow because I've read that yellow is the first color our eyes will go to. It's a good way to get people's attention. And then I also I wanted to represent a lot of different kinds of people that don't get represented in media and things like that, just to show that we're all together on this issue. And I think that we've stood together on a lot of issues in the last 10 years that have come up, and I hope that continues to happen.
Right. That's for me. I'm grateful that can happen. It is happening right here. Anyway, Bridget, this for me also, if I may say one more thing about Keith Haring, this painting matches his intensity, and he always was painting about the current affairs. And I know that you paint other things, but right now this is your most recent, and here it is about current affairs.
That's really nice. Thank you.
Bridget, we come over here to this painting, Dear Human Race. It's a 16 by 20 acrylic on board. And on the front, we have this lovely rendering of, it looks like a road. And it's many different people being represented, different ages. And then really this come together of these 2 birds on the top and a very serene but bold green. Dear Human Race. And then on the back, you put a quote by Brian Stevenson. And if you could just tell us who Brian Stevenson was or is.
So Brian Stevenson, I think actually, Beth, you know a bit more about his backstory than I do. He's a public defender, correct?
He did. And he also has made it his life's work to represent the poor. And before it was, as noticed, that this needs to happen, that we need to represent the poor because the people that have means are represented, can be represented. The poor, the incarceration rate, which you hearken on some of your other paintings, that is behind The World is Burning. And so that's been his life's work. He's about 62 years old, and I would imagine he's still doing it. I would imagine he has a big team. And I would encourage anybody to look him up. And who knows, he probably has chapters all over that people can volunteer and do their part for that representing of the poor. So that's Brian Stevenson.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I was rewatching the 13th for like the millionth time. I've been rewatching it like multiple times lately, especially because of all that's going on. It's just like such a good resource in general. Um, one of many for me at the moment, but that Brian Stevenson says that in a part of that movie, and it just like it always hits me right in the heart, because it's just so well said.
Right. And, before this body of work, I didn't know him. So I researched him because you told me about him. And I just, it hit my heart too, that,
Mm.
that he's the founder of this justice initiative and it just is for the poor, Another person that you quote is Angela Davis. Now, I don't know too much about her, but I do know that she's an educator. And so we can totally use that. Can you tell me something that you have been drawn to her about?
Yeah, I think in these times people go to the leaders of the movement in the 60s. I think it's just kind of a natural thing because they were speaking on literally the same exact issues. Um, so Dr. Angela Davis is an abolitionist, and I honestly didn't even know what an abolitionist was until about a month ago. But she believes in abolishing all of these systems
Right.
completely and rebuilding them, which is interesting. And I think in this time it's cool to research different people and their views and beliefs and kind of like meditate on which ones you think would work best for our future. And as a white person as well, I'm not leading this movement. I just want to be supportive. I want to be behind everybody who needs to see this change. I mean, we all need it because it's not it doesn't feel good to live in a world where we're not all treated equally. So in that way we're all a part of it.
Right.
But I think it's much more personal to people who are at the center. So anyway, it's good to look on Angela Davis a bit, and obviously everybody's looking to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the leaders of that time. So I just thought it would be nice to use Angela Davis's voice and appropriate,
And that's behind the painting. The world is burning. Correct.
Correct. I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah, and this is a very powerful painting as well. Bridget?
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I just want to say, Bridget, that I am also very honored to have this show here in the gallery. It's not only has a strong message, they're beautifully rendered. They all have balance, a clear emphasis, movement, pattern, obviously repetition, and the rhythm. And it comes from the heart. And you can tell that the painter who painted these, yourself, it's true. It's not just propaganda. And this interview, I hopefully will echo that, and people will continue to and you have great proportion. I love your paintings. Your other work, it's great because it's compare and contrast. I encourage the viewer to go to Old Crow. How can we do that to see some of your other work?
I'm mostly just on Instagram, and my handle is at @old_crow_.
Okay, and then we'll be posting on our Instagram, discodolls_art, and that'll be your work will be posted. I bring it up because it's a compare and contrast, because this is serious stuff and your other stuff is maybe not so serious. So the viewer can enjoy the yin and yang of you. Correct?
Correct.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
No, you're great. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just It's just been a weird day, and it's been a weird year, and it's been a weird life, you know?
Right. As an artist, though, it is, I think, a gift. Well, I know it's a gift to be able to render something and for people to recognize what those shapes are, the color that you've done and that kind of thing makes sense. And, not everybody can do that. So I admire your painting. I thank you so very much for letting us borrow these paintings. They are for sale. The proceeds will go to Bridget. Where will the proceeds go to?
They're gonna go to the St. Pete peaceful protesters. A lot of them have actually been getting arrested lately. It's gotten a little bit hotter down here, so I'd like to continue to donate extra money that I'm making from my art to them.
Thank you so much for doing that. And
Of course.
again, we are proud to have your work here. Um, Anyone that wants to come mask up and see the paintings up close and personal, we're happy to do that. And it'll be up for a month. Bridget, thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Thank you so much, Beth. No, I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay. We should get together some sort of collaborative and just make this the beginning, since it is a series. Dear Humans being the first part of this series, it's time to wake up. So I look forward to the next series, next chapter in your series.
Thank you so much, Beth.
Okay, sunshine, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Might not be the best city in the world. It's a place